Here we have two different displays for a Raspberry Pi, and here we have an unopened Raspberry Pi 4. And so my idea, since the energy prices in the world is like super high right now, I figured we'd try to create a display that essentially calls some sort of API and gets the price information of the kilowatt price per hour, and then just updates it so that we know when energy is as cheap as possible or electricity is as cheap as possible. And then we could probably come up with some way to kind of use that data, create some sort of thing where we know like, okay, at this time of day is a good time to actually turn on like the dryer or the washing machine or the dishwasher or something like that. And maybe that would be useful. I don't know. So we'll start by just unboxing this thing quickly. Okay, and then we have these two displays. This one looks a little bit more legit. There's a lot of little things in the actual packaging. Plus it comes with this like, I think it's static electricity against that. I'm not sure. And then we have this massive display that I saw on Amazon, and I thought this was going to be like this big. And then it came and it was like bigger than my head. I have no idea how to actually work with any of this stuff. I've never actually plugged anything into a Raspberry Pi before, so I don't know how to actually do that. So that'll be a fun challenge too, to see if these things actually work or if we need more parts to get them to work. Hopefully it won't be too difficult. Okay, so I just realized that before I get too carried away with trying to put all this stuff together, I might actually need to do some research just to make sure that this is actually something that's possible, that there is like an open API for energy price data here in Sweden or somewhere else at least, where I can actually get the price live. Because if that's not possible, then this experiment might be quite short and we might need to find like a new project to do. Alright, so I found a API that we can use, which is Nordpool something. It's for Swedish power things and prices. You're probably going to have to Google this stuff for yourself, but this is something that I usually don't do, which is do the proper research beforehand. Usually I just find something and then I dive straight in. But what I wanted to find out here was I wanted to see if we could find something where that has hourly prices and real-time data so that we can actually get the price live and not just get like a projection of the price or the historic price or things like that. We want to get as accurate data as we can get, and it seems like Nordpool could be a way to do that. Alright, so I decided to have some breakfast, scrambled eggs, oats with some cinnamon, and then a full orange.
The lineage and histories of the great houses of the Seven Kingdoms.
I'm also watching some Game of Thrones Season 1 recap just to see some reviews of that, why that was so great. So not necessarily like the best solution, but it seems to be working. Right, it seems like we have everything running. Okay, so now it's fully running, and now we're gonna try to connect this thing. I saw that you could actually I just went to the Amazon page and they actually show you how to do it, so I'm just gonna follow the Amazon image instructional thing and hopefully that will work. Alright, so this is what came with the thing, this thing, and that thing. Alright, so I have no idea what I've done here, but hopefully it's correct. I tried to follow some sort of scheme thing, I don't know. Gonna try to turn the power back on for the Raspberry Pi and then see if it actually does anything to this little display. Hopefully. Okay, so I disconnected these three and all of a sudden it turned on. Not sure what that's about, but either way I think I'm gonna have to disconnect all of them because it seems like these last three are in the wrong place. This stuff is so frustrating. I'm trying to run it, I'm trying to install all the stuff that they have in like the explanation of how to use this display thing. But everything pretty much gives me an error, and there's things like the error that I'm getting is like there's a invalid syntax in the setup.py file, and that is like a huge file, so I'm like, oh, should I really go through that file and like fix all the errors? And do I even know if that is actually the error, if there's something else? So this is very frustrating because I feel like this should just be like, okay, just plug it in and run it. How hard could it be? But every single time there's always errors. Alright, it now works. Let's move on to trying to actually display some sort of message on it and then see what happens.
Oh, and also, I forgot to say this in the video, but the reason that it didn't work was that I ran it with just using the Python command and not Python 3. As soon as I ran it with Python 3, it just worked. So, yeah.
Alright, so I've managed to make a what I would call like a faux price counter right now, which basically just means that I wanted to test that I could actually print a message of some kind, and right now I can actually print a message, so that's good. I also have cracked the lens on the camera, so that's why I right now have like a glare in my eye, if you can tell. Either way, we now can print the price, which is just a random number right now, but now the next step is going to be to actually code the whole thing. But right now it is 2:50 p.m. and I haven't had anything to eat since breakfast, so in the spirit of trying to maintain a normal routine, I'm gonna go and have some lunch now. So I've been reading a little bit about like microbial health, which is like gut health, and apparently fruit and vegetables and fiber, which I'm getting from the lentils, plus a lot of like really good vitamins and stuff like that, I think. And then yogurt, and again some walnuts, which has fiber and stuff like that. Is supposed to be pretty good for microbial health, which is supposed to be good for gut health, and gut health is supposed to be like something fairly important for overall health and longevity. So this is my like lunch for improved gut health. Okay, so for this project that I've been doing now, I've been using Python, as you know, and Python is probably one of the best languages that I would recommend learning because it's just really useful for these sort of things, and these are the kind of projects that I think are the most fun to be doing. And so in the spirit of that, I wanted to recommend today's video sponsor, which is brilliant.org, because they have a course called Programming with Python that I think is a really great way to get started learning how to code and how to work with Python, and also learning how to code in general. That course is really great. They also have lots of different other courses in the field of programming or computer science and maths. And if you use the link in my description, you get a 7-day free trial of Brilliant Premium, which means that you can check that course out completely free and the other courses that they have. You also get a 20% discount on an entire year of Brilliant Premium if you like it and want to use it a lot more. And overall, I really like Brilliant as a platform. They have lots of really great courses, and they're really great, especially if you're like a visual learner, because their courses are really visual and hands-on. They have courses that will teach you like algorithm fundamentals, how to program with Python, like I just said, neural networks, how to work with those, and just lots of other things that I think are really interesting and that I think that you will enjoy. So yeah, again, thank you to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. And if you use the link in my description, you get a 7-day free trial and a 20% discount on an entire year of Brilliant Premium. Alright, so I'm moving to the desktop computer now to write the script for the actual like interaction with the API, and then we're going to take that script and basically just copy it down. Probably I'm going to make a Git repository or something like that, and then Git clone it onto my little Raspberry Pi, and then that should be the script done. Alright, so it looks like there isn't really a public API here in Sweden, at least, that you can use. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to scrape a website to see, to basically just get the current price. Because some websites actually show the day ahead prices, which is essentially like a prediction for what the prices will be tomorrow. So it will predict that like at 1 a.m. the price will be this, at 2 a.m. this, 3, 4, 5, all the way up until 12, is it p.m. or a.m.? In the morning at least. So essentially we'll give like a 24-hour prediction of each hour what the price will be for the next day. So I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to pull down that data and then just display that. Right, so I'm scraping this website, and right now we got the prices by using this script here. And this has actually been a lot faster than it usually is for me. Usually web scraping is like a struggle of just like looking through all the different elements on the website and trying to find like, okay, where do I need to copy and what do I actually need to copy to get the information that I'm actually looking for. And it usually takes me ages, but now it's actually been really fast. So far, so good. Now I just need to kind of figure out how to break all this stuff apart so that we can get the individual prices as we go along. But so far so good. Okay, so right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to get the Chrome driver for the version that I'm running here on the Raspberry Pi, but it turns out that you're running like Chromium or something, which isn't fully Google Chrome. And so that means that we need to, I don't really know what we need to do, but I think we need to either get like a Chrome driver thing for Chromium instead of Google Chrome, or maybe the Chrome driver will just work. I'm gonna try to run it and see what happens, but I also need to get the Chrome driver for Linux and not for Windows, and right now I have the Windows one, so I need to get the Linux one, which means that, and anytime I try to Google like the Chrome driver here on the Raspberry Pi, it just shows me like the Chromium drivers, so I'm not sure if that's like something that will work or what the deal is. Okay, so I actually need to go like eat something now because I also have to go somewhere else because I'm gonna go buy an old computer for another video that I'm making. And yeah, right now I really wanted to get this thing done before I left so that I could be like done with this video, move on to the next one. But the Chromium thing seems to be a problem, and for some reason I'm getting this error when I'm trying to run the Selenium browser web scraping thing, and I can't really seem to figure out how to fix it because the Chromium thing with the Chrome driver is in the path, but I got the same error on my desktop before, but I thought it was just because I was running it in the Windows subsystem for Linux, or yeah, whatever that's called. And so when I switched over to running it in the Windows terminal, then it worked fine. So I didn't actually solve that problem before, but now I have that problem because now I'm on Linux, essentially on the Raspberry Pi. So now I definitely need to fix that, and there's probably an easy fix, but I just haven't been able to find it for a bit. So yeah, now I need to eat before I go for a 2.5 hour drive to buy an old computer. Okay, I'm moving here today so that I will be able to actually work without sitting the way that I've been sitting for the last couple of days. Because that hasn't been very nice.
Okay, so sometimes when I run it, for some reason, there's an error that occurs. This error, for some reason, it comes up every now and then. So what I did was I created a while loop in here, where I basically try catch. So I use a try clause and then the except. So we basically try to do this until it works, and that saves me from having to rerun the thing every single time it creates an error. Okay, so I'm not really sure. It seems like it just keeps giving me an error. So it turns out I used a lowercase f. So now if we run it, it should work. Okay, again, name price is not defined, and it's supposed to say prices. So again, tiny error. Let's save it and try to run it. All right, it works. All right, so this is the long way that I'm basically splitting so that it should become just this number. So now if we try to run this, that's what should happen. Okay, I guess we've changed hour now, so now we're getting 154, so that's the current price. Now we just need to basically print that number onto this little thing, and once we've done that, we're essentially getting the price, and this should be changing every hour as things update. So yeah, very interesting. All right, so I'm gonna run it now, and hopefully it should show us the correct price on this little thing. So let's see what happens. All right, seems like it's not showing the price for some reason. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened, but I basically just redid what I just did. I like undid everything and then I redid it the same way, I feel like. And now it seems like it works. Yeah, now it displays the actual price, 154. I have the dollar sign, but really it's Swedish crowns. Okay, so I was going to try to make like a little montage or something of that, but it feels a little bit anticlimactic because it's like, well, it's just a screen displaying a number. So yeah, I guess it's not super exciting, the result, I'm realizing now, but yeah, that is the result, and my excitement's probably not doing it justice either, but yeah, there you have it. It's a screen displaying the current price, the kilowatt hour price in Swedish crowns, not in dollars. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it at least, and I hope this video, the idea with it was just to inspire you, to give some ideas of like, okay, this is a project that you could do, and maybe you come up with a different project based on the one that I made now. That's usually how it works for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.